For years now, the name Jeffrey Epstein has been surrounded by mystery, power, and serious criminal allegations. So what's actually going on with the so-called Epstein Files? And why do they keep making headlines? Let's break it down in a simple way. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier who was arrested in 2019 on federal charges involving the sexual abuse of underage girls. Before his trial could begin, he died in jail. His death was ruled a suicide, but it sparked massive controversy and endless speculation. Because Epstein moved in elite circles, politicians, billionaires, celebrities, people began asking a huge question. Who else knew? And who else was involved? Over time, federal investigators gathered millions of pages of documents, emails, flight logs, photographs, financial records, and witness statements. Many of these records were sealed for years because they were part of ongoing investigations or court proceedings. Recently, large portions of these files have been made public. Now here's something very important. Just because someone's name appears in these documents does not mean they committed a crime. A name can show up for many reasons: being on a flight log, being mentioned in an email, attending the same event, or simply being part of Epstein's social circle. That distinction matters. The released documents mainly provide more details about Epstein's network, who he associated with, how he arranged travel, how he maintained relationships, and how his operation functioned. But in many cases, the files do not include criminal charges against the people mentioned. That hasn't stopped public speculation. When powerful names appear in documents connected to a convicted sex offender, people naturally react. There's anger, there's suspicion, and there's a strong desire for accountability. At the same time, the Justice Department has said that many parts of the files were heavily redacted, meaning information was blacked out to protect victims' identities and ongoing investigations. So while millions of pages were released, they don't necessarily answer every question. And that's part of why this story refuses to go away. Some people believe there's more hidden. Others believe what's been released is simply the full record of a criminal investigation into one man and his associates. Another key figure in this case is Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate. She was later convicted on federal charges related to helping recruit and groom underage girls for Epstein. She is currently serving a prison sentence. Her conviction confirmed that Epstein did not act alone in abusing victims, but it also left open the bigger question. Was there a larger network? So far, there has been no public evidence proving the existence of a secret, organized, global conspiracy involving dozens of elites. However, there's also been ongoing public pressure to continue investigating any potential wrongdoing tied to Epstein's circle. It's important to separate three things: confirmed criminal convictions, allegations, and speculation. Epstein himself faced federal charges. Maxwell was convicted. But for many other names that appear in documents, no charges have been filed. In today's internet culture, that line often gets blurred. Documents get shared online. Screenshots go viral. Headlines get exaggerated. And suddenly, presence in a document turns into guilt in the public eye. That's why understanding context matters. The Epstein case highlights something deeper about society. When extreme wealth and political power mix with criminal behavior, trust in institutions gets shaken. People want transparency. They want fairness. They want to know that powerful individuals are not above the law. The release of the Epstein Files is part of that demand for transparency. But transparency doesn't automatically mean shocking revelations. In many ways, the files show something less dramatic but still disturbing. A wealthy man used his influence, money, and connections to exploit vulnerable young women for years. And he was able to move within elite circles while doing so. That reality alone is troubling enough. As of now, the publicly released files expand the paper trail. They give journalists, lawyers, and the public more insight into Epstein's world. But they do not prove a massive hidden conspiracy. What they do prove is that wealth and access can create dangerous environments when there is no accountability. And that's the real story. At the end of the day, the Epstein case is about justice for victims, not celebrity gossip. It's about ensuring that abuse is exposed, regardless of status. And it's about understanding the difference between facts, allegations, and online rumors. As more information becomes available, the public will continue asking questions. But the most responsible approach is simple. Look at verified evidence. Wait for confirmed findings. And separate speculation from reality. That's where things stand right now. And that's where things stand right now. This case isn't just about one man. It's about power, transparency, and how information spreads in the modern world. And the more we understand the facts, the less we get pulled into noise and speculation. If you found this breakdown helpful, if you prefer complex topics explained in a simple, clear way, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I cover global events, economics, and power dynamics from a perspective that's easy to understand, without the jargon and without the drama. Because in a world full of headlines, what really matters is clarity. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Do you believe everything that should be public already is? Or do you think there's still more to uncover? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.